everyone, my name is kayeramos and welcome to my channel. In my last video, I talked to you about how you can manage your brain clutter and overwhelm. And in today's video, I am so excited to share with you some tips to reduce or manage clutter in your home and eventually in your life. First of all, I would like to emphasize that I am always a work in progress in this area. I still keep on learning, but I think I've improved over the years. So these are the tips that work for me right now, and I'm sure, pretty sure, that I will still have more to learn. So let's start! My tip number one for you is don't let emotions get the best of you. Many times, the reason why we have so much clutter is because we have so much stuff. We buy things impulsively out of our emotions without really thinking about it carefully. So for instance, in my case, during my first few months in the US, I became so obsessed with couponing and deal hunting. So when I see things on sale, I buy it because I cannot pass on the good deal. And it came to a point where I have accumulated so much stuff. So our room, which used to be empty, turned into a storage room filled with lots and lots of random stuff. And when it came time to organize it, I loathed the time I spent sorting things out and even blame myself for spending money on things I don't really need. Maybe you experience some impulsive purchases too. And I find that it's helpful when you are mindful of the things you buy. So before you buy or before you make a purchase, ask yourself, do I really need it? What is the use of this? Do I have a space for this at home? Do I have the budget to buy it right now? So these questions will help you think and clarify before you actually buy an item. My tip number two for you is to embrace a new container system. When we declutter, we sometimes think that we need more containers to organize our stuff. Well, I used to think that way too. I bought lots of containers thinking they will help me organize my clutter. And I recently learned about a new container system shared by Dana White in her book, Decluttering at the Speed of Life. Basically, you think of your house, your rooms, cabinet, or containers as objects to contain things you value or need. Assign a container for each category, and then when the container is full, you cannot add anymore. What is that? Or like how? The idea is to replace things instead of adding. So for instance, if you have a box full of scarves and you want to buy something new, then you have to decide which one to replace. So that way, your container becomes manageable all the time. You don't just keep on piling or adding new stuff. Tip number three, do not dump all at once. This might be a controversial strategy, but based from my experience, when I dump all my clutter all at once to sort them out, I feel overwhelmed and I tend to procrastinate further. Most of the times, instead of dealing with the clutter, I go down the memory lane as I sort things, and it makes it even more difficult to dispose or sort them. So instead of sorting a huge pile of clothes all at once, divide it into manageable amounts. For instance, allot 15 minutes each day sorting through 10 clothes. For that day, you will only decide on 10 clothes or any object that you want to sort. Give yourself clear options on what to do with each object. Either you keep, discard, donate, or sell. And each time you make a decision, put it in the specific container where it is supposed to be. The good thing about this is you can do it while watching or listening to something. Allot one day as your rest day every week, and imagine if you sort 10 things each day, in 1 week you can sort 60 things without making a huge clutter or mess. Tip number four, evaluate areas that make you stress out. So one of the sources of my stress is the clutter on the floor. There seems to always be crumbs that need to be swept, picked up. But the problem is I don't like sweeping every day, especially now that I am pregnant. So after a year of contemplating, I finally invested in a cordless vacuum to help me. Look at the areas that make you stress out and do a quick brain dump on a journal so you can clearly see your thoughts. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, check out this video right here. Picture the ideal scenario that will solve that problem. Going back to my sweeping problem, I feel like things would be easier if I have a tool that can make sweeping comfortable, where I don't have to keep on bending and I don't have to lug a bulky vacuum that gets tangled every time. I can easily bring it upstairs. I can clean both rug and floor at the same time. So with this in mind, I went to look for a solution that would address these issues. If you have a clear picture of what you want to address, then it is easier to find a solution. If the solution is quite pricier like mine, like investing in a very expensive purchase, educate yourself about what you are planning to buy so you don't end up having a buyer's remorse. I will say though that the best solution sometimes does not need to be expensive. This spray mop right here is one of my best impulsive purchase. I got it for $13 at Aldi and my husband and I both love the convenience. I decided to buy reusable mop pads so I can rotate them. Now I don't have to carry this huge bucket every time I mop. Tip number 5, have a reuse mentality. Look around you and think of things that you can reuse so you don't have to keep buying them over and over. So this way, it will help you reduce the clutter in the trash and it will help you save money too. For instance, we use lots of paper towels but we don't throw them right away because we think of reusing them for other things. What happens is they tend to pile up on countertops. So I decided to create reusable paper towels and wipes that we can easily grab and put under the sink once they're dirty, and we just wash them once they're all used up. I shared how I made them in this video right here. We love them so much that I decided to make more for different purposes. Tip number 6, if it irritates your eyes, remove it. Sometimes no matter how you clean, it seems like it's still not clean. Maybe because you have so much visual clutter around you. Slowly deal with those visual clutters and put them in the respective containers where they should be, whether you need to dispose them, to keep them. And I cannot define what visual clutter is for you since it is very relative. If you feel like it doesn't add value to the overall atmosphere of your home, maybe it's time to rethink on what to do with that piece. As I have said, I still have lots of things to learn in this topic and I want to share anything new that I learned and works for me. So make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button so you will be notified every time I post a new video. In the meantime, check out these videos right here, where I also share some cleaning tips and suggestions. Again, this is Kayeramos and thank you so much for watching. See you guys again next time. Bye!